Canada has recently said it's going to cut emissions between 40 and 45% by 2030. Is that far enough, or do you need countries to do even more than that? And how important is the climate financing aspect of this summit?
There was almost emetic harmony between me and Prime Minister Trudeau on a lot of issues. This is one of them. I think Canada's done extremely well to. I think the Canadian nationally determined contribution that you just mentioned to cutting carbon emissions is a good one. I'm not saying it couldn't go further, but it's a very good one. And you're right that. The other thing that Justin and I talked about was the need to raise $100 billion globally to support other countries in tackling climate change. Because after all, we in the UK, I'm afraid to say we were the first. We were the beginners of the crime. We started, the Industrial Revolution began in this country. We began this huge pattern of hydrocarbon emissions long before other countries that are way behind us on the pathway to development. Mm-hmm. We owe it to them to support them now in accelerating their move to net zero. It's not fair otherwise, and I think Justin totally gets that.
Can I ask you about the UK-Canada trade deal, which will start in earnest in the fall on those negotiations? Are we looking at sort of a tariff-free zone? How much better is this deal going to be than the free trade deal we have with the EU?
We're very hopeful that we can do a great deal, and we discussed that as well. I think there are big opportunities for Canadian business here in the UK. We're a giant market. We're a giant market for all sorts of things. But Canada is also a very interesting trading and business partner for us. We'd love to develop our relations. When I was mayor of London, I think I remember casting around for a country that was producing big burly bicycles that we could use for a hire bike scheme in London. Would you believe it? The only place that seemed to make the ones we wanted was Canada. So there you couldn't say that we weren't gluttons for free trade. I as mayor of London bought Canadian bicycles to populate the streets of London, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do a thoroughgoing free trade deal. As I recall, we were slightly held up by the Canadian reluctance to allow too much British cheese. Yes. To tempt the palates of Canadians. I think what's really needed now is more affordable, high quality British cheese in Canada, and I hope that we can do a deal to allow that.